All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the open house for Epic Homeschool Network. I'm so happy that you guys have joined us. My name's Andrea Hall, and I'm the Executive Director of Epic Homeschool Network. In this session, you'll discover who we are. You'll discover our vision and mission. You'll discover how the program works and also how you can get started. So a little bit about Epic. We are a faith-based nonprofit organization, but we don't require a statement of faith. So you are allowed to join no matter what your religious background is. Our vision, though, is to help families homeschool with confidence and clarity, and our mission is to enrich, enhance, and empower home education in the community for all students in a nurturing Christian environment. We bring together homeschoolers to build an empowering parent-led, individualized, and community-driven network so that we can homeschool with confidence, clarity, and celebrate our children's achievements. We are a network of homeschooling families who wish for our children to have diplomas recognized by the state of Georgia. So part of our academic studies program is having that accreditation piece. And everything is moving slow on my computer. Of course. All right, here is our year in review. This is a quick video. There we go. Hold on. I forgot to share the sound. Of course I did. All right. This is missing a few things. This is actually the year before last. I didn't do the updated one for this year yet, but it's coming. But this still gives you an idea of what we've done. Oh, oh, what was? I need this thing to come with it. Let's try that again. So that's a Flourish Family Homeschool Conference that we co-host. These are that's an art class. Really? That's so weird. It must have a timer on there. Oh, does it have a timer on there or something? Oh, it says use timings. Oh, let's turn that off. Okay. Take three. So this is our picture when we got our fully accredited status. Road Trip Nation from PBS came to visit us. So these are some pictures of them visiting us. We've had over 200 hours of field trip hours. This is one of our dissection labs that we did. Different field trips. That's our science lab. That's our field day. One of our field days. Two of our field trips there. This is our science fair. Our betas. We go to Beta Club convention every year. Oh, that's a Georgia Aquarium. We normally do that free for our kids. This This is our epic walk through Black history, field trip Southern Belle Farms. This is our inflatable race that we do at field day. That's at field day. And our cloud vendors at field day. So this is the year before last. I'm going to update this video and probably put it on YouTube. So if you follow us on YouTube, I'll have the one for this year, because we really did some great things this year as well. But that just kind of gives you an idea of what we do at Epic. And somehow my computer's going to let me go to the next slide at some point. I don't know why it's being so temperamental today. All right, we're just going to skip past that. Meet the team. My name's Andrea Hall. Some of you guys have already met me. I have been teaching. I've been in the field of education since 2004. Actually, before that, if I'm really honest, but officially 2004. So it's over 20 years. I haven't updated this slide. I'm certified in mathematics. So that's my background. I just resigned from teaching virtually with Georgia Cyber Academy. I can say that now. So I am going to be focusing in on Epic Homeschool Network and helping our students full time. And I'm really excited about that. My desire is to create a love for learning one equation at a time. So that's my passion. Joining me on the team, and I'm just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. We have Tamika Slayton. She's like our field trip director and little learners director. You'll see her and with the kids who are in grades 2 and under. So pre-K to second grade, that's Miss Tamika Slayton. And she is always on a field trip. So she's our field trip program director. Her company is Slayton Adventure Academy. So we work in tandem together. And then we have Kim Cosby. If you've seen us on social media and you've interacted with us on social media, Kim is probably the person you've talked to. She's our social media director, and she also works with little learners. And all of us are volunteers, y'all. We're all volunteers helping to make this happen. My husband, Damon Hall, he is our Chief Personnel Officer who handles all discipline and human resources issues. I have not had to call on him for any discipline issues. Praise the Lord. We had during the right after the pandemic, when everybody was still trying to figure out where they were going, we had a big influx of public school students who needed some help getting acclimated. So we kind of needed that chief personnel officer, but now he is just there as the backbone. He pretty much just helps to lift heavy things. But I wanted you guys to see my husband. So if you see him, that's what he does. He's also part of our board of directors. Other people who you might not ever see, but you might hear from, Yolanda Pugh, she's our bookkeeper. So she helps to handle any transactions that we're doing. Like if there's an invoice or something that's going wrong, you might hear from Yolanda Pugh. And then Ulrich Graham is our treasurer. So you might also hear from him. Mainly, you probably hear from Yolanda, but I just want you guys to hear their names and know that they're with us as well. They're part of our team. All right, so how the program works. First off, I want to let you guys understand we are accredited. If you're part of our academic studies program, you're part of the accredited program. We also have a co-op. So people are like, are you a co-op? Are you a school? It depends on how you join us, right? If you just want to come for field trips, then you're not part of the accredited part. You're just part of our co-op. You're coming for field trips and activities. You're just paying your annual family membership dues, and that's it. Okay. So you're not part of the accredited program. But if you want to have that accreditation, you need to join our academic studies program. We received our accreditation in 2022. Um, but we are graduating our first class of recognized valedictorians and salutatorians this year. So even though we received our accreditation, we have to go through a process with Georgia Futures to get our students and our organization recognized with Georgia Futures. So our valedictorian or our salutatorian will immediately qualify for the Zell Miller scholarships, which is a blessing. Because if you know anything about those scholarships for homeschoolers, they raise the level of what they have to achieve academic, like on the SAT or the ACT. Like if you're a homeschooler and you want to get the Zell Miller scholarship, you have to have a higher SAT score, a higher ACT score than someone in a regular public or private school that's not accredited. Zell and Hope, that's for college. So if you're going to college in Georgia, you get a scholarship. You can get the Zell Miller scholarship or the Hope scholarship. It helps to pay for tuition, but it has to be like a Georgia public university, college or university. And if you're going to a Georgia private college or university, you'll get like a portion of it. You won't get the full tuition, but you'll still get something, even if it's a private school, if it's in Georgia. Did that answer your question? It's one or the other. Zell is higher than Hope, right? So Zell gives more money than Hope traditionally, and Zell requires a higher GPA, a higher SAT score. Well, Zell requires an SAT and ACT score that's higher, whereas Hope is mainly defined by your GPA, and you have to have courses of rigor. So when you're coming into Epic, we will help you make sure that you're choosing courses that are recognized for rigor so that you can qualify. So it can't just be any courses that you choose. Okay. Let's see if it'll okay, so let me see if it'll let me do it. Will it recognize my clicks? I don't know what to say about this today. PowerPoint is just not my friend. All right. So the full program includes quarterly one-on-one homeschool coaching with a dedicated advisor. I'll most likely be your dedicated advisor, or Tamika Slayton or Kim Cosby. It includes required homeschool standardized testing access. So if your child is in the grades 3, 6, 9, or 12, your standardized testing is included in your price, okay, when they're in those grade levels. If you're in the Georgia Promise scholarship, you have to do it every year. So that'll be included in your price if you're a Georgia Promise student. But if you're not a Georgia Promise student, then it'll just be grades 3, 6, 9, and 12. The program includes annual report cards. So we will give you a template that you'll be using, but we will put it into our system so that you have a nice accredited, a nice looking report card. Accredited transcripts, we create those transcripts for you, and guidance every step of the way. Now, as part of that annual report cards and annual accredited transcripts, you have to create an annual, I should put this in here, individual learning plan. So you'll hear me talking a lot about that because that's what you do at the beginning of the year to let us know this is what I plan to do in our homeschool. These are the resources I plan to use. And if you need help choosing those resources, we help you do that. It's important that we do that at the beginning of the year. Okay, so that we are set up for success. You can change it throughout the year, but we do that at the beginning of the year. Your annual report card should match what you decided to do, right? The classes you decided to take, your report card should match it. We're making those report cards based on the grades, whatever system you're using to get your grades. Accredited transcripts, guidance every step of the way. New for this coming school year, you will get access to an award-winning curriculum, Flex Point, which is what we'll be using for our online curriculum. I wanted to have it tonight to show it to you guys, but we're still getting set up. And because of the holiday, and I did not pay attention to the fact that today was a Labor Day. I mean, not Labor Day, Memorial Day. But I will do another virtual open house so that I can actually show you guys that FlexPoint curriculum. But included in that full program, it includes that FlexPoint curriculum. Classes and clubs and classes to enrich learning. So you'll have access to our in-person classes on Tuesdays. So that's typically when we do those on Tuesdays. You'll have access to those in-person classes and clubs on Tuesdays, and our Epic mentorship program, which is also in person on Tuesdays. This also includes field trips uh, at least 2 times per month. And those are typically on Wednesdays, unless, the organization we're looking at, the facility is not open on Wednesdays. So we typically try to keep the activities that we do in person on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to kind of streamline it for families. Any questions about what the full program includes? Okay. Now I know you guys are probably looking at that. What's the price? All right. So the academic studies program for grades 3 and up, so grades 3 and up, is 6,500 per year per student, or you're looking at $650 per month. Okay. For the little learners, that's grades pre-K to second grade. That is $1,500 per year per family, or $150 per month per family. The reason why it's so much lower for our little learners is because they don't have to do the accreditation, all of that we have to do with little learners. We don't have to do as much with little learners as we do with the older kids. With the older kids, it's a lot more work, it's a lot more intense. And that curriculum and making sure the support that you get for that curriculum and having to pull in outside resources like, math teacher, English teacher, art teacher, different things like that. So that's why it's a little bit more for the older kids. However, we are a faith-based organization and we always believe that God will provide. So if this number that we're telling you is like, okay, I can't do 650 per month per student, have a conversation with me, get my information, let's have a private conversation, and let's talk about what can we do. Okay. And one of the main things I want you to think about is, okay, what services can I offer to help offset these costs? Okay. So that, okay, I know I can't pay this much, but this is what I can do so that it's not, I don't have to pay that much. Ina, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you want us to ask questions as, like if we have
Yeah.
questions on this? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to like the curriculum and all of that, I know all of us kind of are homeschooling our own style, but how would that work with you know, with the classes, like stuff that we're doing at home, with the flex curriculum program? How does that work? Like, do y'all, are you guys going to do like math and science, or like do we decide like you guys do math and science, I'll do this and that at home? Like, how does that work?
So that's a good question. It actually works however you want it to work. So, for example, it's like, say you're like, you know what? I like the math curriculum. Like, say you like the math curriculum you're using. You're like, I like our math curriculum. I don't want to change our math curriculum at all. Right. But I don't like I want you guys, I want the English to come through Flex Point. Right. Then we can do that. So really it's up to you as a parent to decide. And that's why I'm going to have another open house when we can actually show you guys the Flex Point curriculum, because I want you guys to be able to kind of see it. But you can decide, or even in the year, like say you're going through the year and you're realizing, hey,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
I would like this, but I don't. Did I break up?
Yeah, you kind of left and now you came back. So I missed it.
Oh,
So we
okay.
can pick which curriculum, right? That's where you left off.
Yeah, you can pick which
Okay.
curriculum. even in the year, if you're like, okay, you know what, I thought I would like this, but it's not quite working, I want to switch it, you can do that. And I would definitely say, hey, schedule like a one-on-one quick 15-minute meeting with me or whatever, and say, I just want to switch this up, this is what I plan to do, and that's cool. So it's really up to you as far as how you want to do it. The way I envision FlexPoint working is that FlexPoint will be your math, your science, your social studies, all of those core curriculums, the core curriculum that we need, that you would use FlexPoint for it. On Tuesdays, you would do those on all the other days. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you would use FlexPoint and do that at home. When we come on Tuesdays, this would be the time when we will be doing hands-on stuff. So we would have a math lab. So even though they're doing different levels of math and FlexPoint, when they come to math lab, if there's a concept, like if they need, like it's going to be like small group tutoring. So say there's a group over here that needs help with their long division. There's a group over here that needs help with fractions or whatever they're working on, we'll have small group tutoring math lab on Tuesday. So that's when they'll get like that in-person support. On Tuesdays, we'll also be writing because even though you're doing English on FlexPoint, writing is one of those things that you need some interaction with. You need to do that kind of in person. So we like the Institute for Excellence in Writing. My daughter used it. When she took her dual enrollment English class, she got 100 in it. So I really like that curriculum for writing. So that's what we will be doing in person, but they still need their English language arts that they're doing whatever grade level they're doing. So that will be enhancing their learning. We would have art in person, so that enhance their learning. We would have PE in person on Tuesdays. So the things that we do on Tuesdays will kind of just enhance what they're doing, but they'll be doing like their regular curriculum on the other days. Did I help answer your question?
You did, and I'm still trying to formulate how we're going to do it again next year. But I'm wondering. So this is more like traditional schooling, right? Like whatever fifth grade is supposed to be learning, that is what is going to be learned in those curriculums, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it is.
longest least common multiplier or whatever, that kind of stuff, right?
It is traditional. Yes, it is traditional. But the cool thing with us, though, is again, you're doing it at your own pace. So if
Mm-hmm.
you want to enhance it, so like for example, we have a student that's learning to fly airplanes. She's doing aviation. So she's doing those things as well. Because even though we have our core curriculum that we need to meet those requirements,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't take up the entire day. They're going to go through that curriculum and be able to be done with it and have the rest of their day to kind of go into a subject or an area that they really like. Like my son, he finished his stuff so fast, like he's able to go on plumbing jobs. My husband's a plumber. My son likes making money on plumbing jobs with my husband because my husband pays well. I think I need to become a plumber. But but he goes on plumbing jobs with my husband when he's done with his schoolwork because he's able to get it done. So he gets that hands-on work experience. And now he's telling me he wants to be in construction. So I'm going to try to get into, I want to think about construction management, project management and construction. So I really want to kind of open him up to those opportunities. So now I'm going to start researching and looking for those opportunities. So even though, yeah, you'll be doing the regular traditional stuff as a homeschooler, and we have the online curriculum, this doesn't limit you to not being able to still enhance and do other things outside of it. My daughter wanted to be an architect for many years. So I found NOMA, the National Organization for Minorities in Architecture. And she did programs. She got an internship with them and they paid her to do an after school program, a virtual after school program. They paid her to do it because she was doing it with them for so long. Um, so just don't like, even though we're giving you a framework, that's just we're giving you like a house, like a skeleton for the house, but you can still embellish that house however you want to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because all that is required for that accreditation and the transferring
Yeah.
over to college if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we'll
gotcha.
do the minimum. Do little learn I have another question in the chat. Do little learners have access to the curriculum? Yes, they do, Tia. They do have access to the curriculum as well. So that's a good question. All right. Welcome, welcome. So we're kind of wrapping it up here as we're sharing about the program and all the benefits of the full program. And then you get some other benefits. HSLDA membership, you get a discount on that membership if you use our code. So let us know if you're getting that membership. I am a member. Um, People find it kind of, I know it's very controversial, but I have seen the work that they've done in different communities, even in Africa. I know people personally affected and how they've benefited people that I personally like, 1 degree of separation from, and HSLDA has showed up for them. So because I want to protect our right to homeschool, I'm part of HSLDA. I might not subscribe to all of their ideologies, but one thing we agree on is being able to protect our right to homeschool. And that's why I'm a member. So I know people have different concepts and different things with it, but that's why I'm a member. So testing administration, you get discounts on that, even if you're testing on an off year. If you're part of the academic studies program in grades 3, 6, 9, and 12, you don't have to pay for testing. That's part of your program. But if you want to test every year, then you just get a discount on that. We have our annual award ceremony that you guys are invited to come to, even if you aren't able to be participating in it. You can come and observe and see what we do. That's going to be on June 4th. And scholarships. In the past, we've been giving scholarships to our students. Lately, we've been giving scholarships to our volunteers because we understand that volunteers are like the heartbeat of our organization. So we recognize exceptional volunteers and they get a scholarship towards their bill, right? So at the end of that year, say, they might get a $1,000 scholarship towards um, the school year so that they're not having to come out of pocket. So if you are thinking, I can't afford that fee, you want to become an exceptional volunteer. Those are some of the scholarships that we offer. This just gives you a little idea of what our calendar looks like. So our school year starts August 3rd and it ends on May 28th. But in between there, we have what we call virtual days. So even though we start August 3rd, you guys will be starting at home, doing your homeschool curriculum at home the entire month of August. And we don't actually start meeting at our facility until the Tuesday after Labor Day, September 8th. So September 8th is when we start meeting in person at our facility. So that's why you'll see all those green days. Now, if you need standardized testing, this is one of our testing windows, August 4th to the 6th. So that's the only people that would be meeting in person during that time frame. But everyone else is working independently at home. So we start meeting in person on September 8th, and we meet every Tuesday. If it's blue, that's a vacation day. And the reason we kind of mimic the Cobb County calendar because it just makes it easy. We have a lot of families who have family members who are still in the school system. They have different travel plans that they kind of use based on a school system. So we kind of mimic the Cobb County calendar due to those reasons. So you'll see a lot of our breaks kind of coincide with Cobb County. One of the things that we do in October that we've always done is a Beta Club Leadership Summit. So that's why you'll see that that's in purple here. We definitely recommend that you go there. If not, you can just join us at the Great Wolf Lodge because it's a fun time that we have. Your third grader would need standardized testing. You don't have to do it in August, though. You could take it in May when we do it again in May of next year. The only reason I would recommend taking it in August is if you want to see your child's growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. EPIC will only cover one of those tests. If your child's in third grade, we'll cover one of them, but we won't cover both of them. Okay. So if you just took one, maybe at the end of this year, if you just took a test, then I wouldn't recommend doing it until the end of May. Okay. Um, oops. In November, you'll see that we take Thanksgiving off. After Thanksgiving, we have virtual days after Thanksgiving because nobody wants to come out in the cold. We have found that to be true. We're homeschoolers. We kind of float to the beat of our own drums. So that's why it's green. So we will be meeting on Zoom after Thanksgiving, and we'll meet on Zoom. We'll take time off for the winter break. We won't meet back in person until the 19th, January 19th. That's the Tuesday after MLK Day, right? So that's when we'll meet back in person. We will probably still have we will definitely still have field trips and activities in between then, but we just won't be meeting every Tuesday during that time frame because we just found it's just not pretty. It's too cold. And you know, every people don't show up properly. So it's just we all feel it. We're all feeling the burn and it's just a nice time to rest. And then we'll be meeting on Tuesdays. Tuesdays, we have our spring break. Our last day in person will be May 11th. You'll still have virtual days to wrap up the year. And then our last day for the school year will be May 28th. Typically, our annual awards and graduation is the first Thursday in June. I kind of found it helpful. It was helpful for me because I was always teaching the school system. So I kind of had to wait till everything was finished with my job so I could concentrate on making sure we had a good annual award ceremony. I also kind of still like it in that first Thursday in June because we kind of miss all of the graduation coordination. If you know people who are graduating, they will have like five graduations in one day that people are hopping to. So by the time we do our graduation, all of that has kind of died down. So we kind of like doing the graduation that first week in June. And yeah, that's pretty much how we do it. Any questions about like this calendar and what that looks like? And of course, they won't let me navigate to the next screen. So if you're little learners, you guys meet from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays. And you guys do a series of different activities. These are just some of the things you guys do. Bible study, character, zoology, creative writing, snack, lunchtime. Those are just some of the activities you guys do in that. Thank you, Shalise. I thought so. We learned that the hard way, though. It took us some time to develop that. I am talking with our beta club leader. This schedule is just tentative. It might change, but we have a first and third Tuesday schedule, and then we have a second, fourth, and fifth Tuesday schedule. Yes, students bring their own lunch. So first and third Tuesdays, they have beta. So the grades 3 to 8 would start off the day in their beta club. High schoolers will have the university ready writing IEW class. That's that writing class I was telling you guys about. That's really great for the students. And then they'll also have a math lab. That's either like an SAT prep, or small group tutoring and enrichment. I did not spell enrichment right. Don't ask me why I did that. I think I was just abbreviating. So that's what be happening with the high schools. Then they have lunch, and then we've got art for the grades 3 to 8. They have art, IEW. So that's a writing lab. Then they have a math lab, and then PE. The high schoolers have senior beta in the afternoon, and then they have student council. So that's on first and third Tuesdays. On second, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays, we have Epic Success Talks, where we have guest speakers come in. We have our math lab, IEW, we've got lunch, we have our general science lab, then we have our Epic mentorship program and PE. Now, this is just our tentative schedule right now. Some things we might add to this to make it more like based on what our parents are saying that they can do, and what we decide to offer. So this is just an idea of what's offered. In the past, our clubs have been the Lego club, gaming club, book club. We have a yearbook club. Um, our club times will happen after school, so after 4:30, or on other days, like during the week, is when our clubs would meet, like virtually. Our Kilometer Kids is who we partner with to do our PE. And those are our classes and our clubs. All right. How to get started? Well, you can scan this QR code. And if you scan that QR code, it would take you to a website. And I can just grab that link to that website. Hope I'm sharing. I hope I've been sharing all this time. Okay, good. It would be really sad not to be sharing. Um, it would take you to this website, and I'll drop that link in the chat. And next year, we're probably going to, well, we're going to have options for you to purchase lunch. So we're going to have like a rotation of pasta bella, chipotle, um, sandwiches like Subway or Public sandwiches. So you'll have a pizza. Kids always love pizza. I think I'm pizzaed out. I don't think I've ever eaten so much pizza as I have. Um, but so you've come to our open house, you register. So this is a form that you complete for registration. You do one for each child. You schedule a meeting with me. So once you complete that form, I'll send you a link so you can schedule a meeting with me. You become a member of Epic. You finalize your course selections, and that will happen as soon as our FlexPoint training is this week. So you'll get access to that. You'll complete an individual learning plan. Yes, Shalise. Complete an individual learning plan, review our policies and procedures, and you sign the form. So those are just kind of like those are kind of like the next steps. But it really just begins with here, with doing this. Right now, we are in regular registration, so it's $249 for the first child. And then if you have multiple children, you're registering for the second child, you would choose this 179. Ina, I see you have a question. Go ahead.
What's the selection for the Georgia Promise again? Like, what do we select for
Oh,
this?
you have Georgia Promise?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, thank you for reminding me. Let me, I think, do you have your funds already on Georgia Promise?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would actually just go ahead and you are looking in Georgia Promise, you're looking for quick schools. So you wouldn't fill out this registration form.
Mm.
You would go to Georgia Promise's website and you're looking for, hold on, let me get the actual name
Okay.
of it. Because I think. Okay, so I do need you to fill out just the registration here. You would choose. Hold on a second. Georgia Promise, Georgia Promise.